to I Am Woke. I'm your host, Emelina Calder. In today's video, I'm going to take you guys through an energy update from the Law of One for the new moon on 6/6 in Gemini. It's pretty powerful already. I've been like feeling it, jiving on it all week. You guys can see a painting I'm working on in the background here. I started working on that tonight. I'm not gonna lie, art therapy is real. Okay. Welcome. If you're new, my name is Emelina Calder. I am a shaman, a high performance coach, an Akashic Records reader, practitioner, teacher, a psychic medium. And in this video, I'm going to take you guys through a Law of One reading. I checked in with the Akashic Records. I was like, who wants to channel? And the Law of One was like, we're doing it, sweetheart. I was like, okay. Apparently they have specific messages that they have not given to me yet. That is going to be ready for you guys for this new moon. If any or all of that sounds like your vibe, I also post weekly updates, energy updates. Go tap that subscribe button, the bell for notifications, so you don't miss any updates. You're gonna probably love my channel. And what else have I got? My Akashic Records training. You can get a free 8-part video training on how to access your own Akashic Records, your blueprint of the soul, and start working with your birthright. The Akashic Records have been like held back for like millennia. Eons. Some people that I do readings with too haven't had access to their own Akashic Records in a very, very, very long time. You can think about it like the big cosmic pen and cosmic eraser. Going into your report card, your history as a soul and your karma. And in this lifetime, accessing your records, you can work with your records. You can erase some of the stuff you don't want to do anymore. You can like rewrite your contracts. The contracts around your career, around your wealth, around your love life, your family, the whole 9 yards. So there's that. So you can go ahead and get that link in the description below. The videos are free. You're gonna really love it. And I think we're just gonna jump right into the video here. So I'm just gonna tune in and drop in and breathe with the Law of One. My frequency is usually pretty high to begin with, but I kind of like to just sync up with them and raise my frequency. I usually do it before I jump on video. But I think they're having me do that now for some reason. Probably for those of you that want to learn how to channel, that's, I think, why they're sending it through. So the way that I get in sync and in tune with my channel is I bring my consciousness into my body where I could feel all of my body. And I breathe like into every cell of my body, and I focus on opening up my crown and the channel itself as a column. And I breathe in the channel, which raises my frequency and then gives me access to the codes and the light. And then sometimes they speak in my ear. Sometimes they just stream of consciousness go through with the vocabulary I need. Sometimes they just send me like fiber optic cables of information to unpack psychically. So I do any and all of that. Hi, you guys. Thanks for joining me, those of you that are here now and those that comment in later. I love stuff like this. Okay, give me 1 second. Da, da, da. Hold on. I love comments like this. I'm sorry, are you related to the clan of crazy people that may or may not be related to me that I was born into, unfortunately? Okay. I'm getting there, you guys. Hang on. Oh, there we go. That's what I was looking for, I think. Okay. You know what's so funny is my guides told me before I jumped on this channel, they're like, you're gonna get some low-key hate. And I was like, oh, okay. Which is funny that they told me ahead. I don't know why. But they were like, go ahead and be mean, Emelina. You're entitled to it. I was like, oh, my guides are really interesting. You guys will find like the way me and my spirit guides talk, I don't know where to go with this other than some people think that being spiritual is allowing yourself to be a doormat and rolling over. And that is absolutely not the case. With that, they're telling me to go right into this. As part of the channel, I got 2 new tattoos today, and don't mind me, I have paint on my hands from painting. So one of them, these were channeled, they like came into my consciousness. I didn't expect to go get tattoos today, but I did. So the synchronicities were crazy. Anyway, this one, probably can't see it, maybe you can see it, says luck on my finger, and thank God I got all my luck back. I think it was like out in the ether with some other people connected to me, but I got my mojo. You guys, I got my mojo back. I've been running on like 30% of my personality. So if you've been liking what I've been producing, then I think you're gonna like it a whole lot more because I did a big soul retrieval and my luck came back. Anyway, the girl that tattooed it, it was hilarious because we were having this like spiritual conversation. She tattooed luck on my middle finger and she was like, you know, like you can flip people off and you can be like, F you because I got good luck. I was like, it's hilarious. All of that to say, that's spirit. That's spirit. You know, the way that we embody spirit, this is a funny channel. The way that we embody spirit is different than what like people think spiritual embodiment is. It's like the ego loves to think of spirituality as superiority. Like, I'm more spiritual than you. See, I don't swear or do anything mean. I just roll over like a doormat because I'm a saint. You know, something that was told to me a very long time ago is, I think it was the Shaolin monks. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. It's one of those well-known Chinese monk groups. I believe they're Chinese. And I believe it's the Shaolin monks that, of course, learned to pray and meditate and do everything they needed to do. I believe they had their own farms. They were cultivating their own food. They were very self-sufficient. And what would happen is pirates, obviously this isn't on the ocean, but whatever the pirate version is on the land, would come and steal all their stuff and like beat them up and hurt them because there are assholes in this world and on this planet. And the Shaolin monks had to, over the course of time, learn how to fight in order to protect their light. So they took on fighting with the martial arts. Again, I'm not an expert in this, but I believe they do staff fighting. The long wooden staffs that they would carry around, like on the premise of their monastery. And then when things would happen that would threaten them, they had the ability to fight. So, you know, this message is coming through really strong right now. The most spiritual of you, like, you do need to protect your light. There's no like, so nice, so kind, I'm so spiritual, so I let people take from me. That's not spiritual. That is misintegration. That is giving away power. That is giving away your blessings. Your blessings are entitled to you. Now, here's the thing. Energy is invisible, and people can trick you into giving over your power through manipulation tactics, whether it's mind games, or emotional hooks, emotional games, which are very typical. Both of those things are very typical in relationships. If you want your blessings, you have to be very protective over your mind, your thinking, what thoughts are coming to you. Many are not yours or not anyone, like they're projections etherically. And then be able to protect your heart. And this is like coming through very loud and clear. The sacred heart is real. Most people don't know how to access the sacred heart. It is the most sacred part of your heart, and it is guarded. We naturally guard it as humans. It's like where the inner child is, and then even deeper into the layers of the heart. We often don't show those aspects of our heart, the sacred heart, because if someone were to take your power from your sacred heart, it's like, it's like as good as a death. It's an emotional death. It's like very difficult to come back from. And And that's generally why most people have a very, very, very guarded heart, is because they're guarding their sacred heart and then building up walls around it. Now, where do you guys want to take me with this? The sacred heart is the innocent heart. It is what people would think of as being naive, but it's not naive, it's innocent. It is playful, it is loving, it is kind, almost to a fault. It's the deepest part of the heart that carries the deepest part of your dreams. That if you can guard, in the way the Shaolin monks guard their monasteries, like if you can learn how to fight invaders, people in your environment that try to like hurt your heart, break your heart, any level of emotional betrayal, talking shit like about themselves or others or you, in front of you or behind your back. You know, emotional gaslighting, anything that ties you up in an emotional knot. And I'm going to check back in with them. I don't know exactly why they're taking me here, but they are. And they've been chanting Sacred Heart to me like pretty consistently the last few days. What else do you guys want to say on this? It's where your magic lies. Your ability to manifest, most of you think is in your mind. It's in your heart, and it is in the deepest layers of the heart, which are the Sacred Heart. If you don't have access to your Sacred Heart because you're busy building up walls and guarding, you're missing your real magical ability to produce your own good luck, your own blessings, your most powerful manifestations that run on autopilot to you. Now, where do you guys want to take me as far as that? How do we guard the innocent heart while being able to have access to it ourselves? You guide, oh, that's probably the right word. You guide your Sacred Heart by allowing yourself to dream and immediately manifest into reality. This is the most spontaneous aspect of you, and your own development, your own psyche comes through the heart space. It is the most immediate spontaneity, the most guided, inspirational, urgent decisions, urgent impulses that you don't know where they come from. They feel like they might come from God. They are coming from your heart. They're coming from the deepest recesses of your own sacred heart, and they do not come with an explanation. So the mind doesn't have time to unpack the message. If it did, by the time the mind rationalized what the heart was trying to speak to you as far as what impulse you urgently needed to move on, you would miss the opportunity. The heart is working through the quantum matrix, allowing you to perceive the different realities and understand what are going to be quantum jumps or timeline hops for you, where you step into a portal of a set of, we will call them synchronicities, but they are more miraculous events, but you will see them as synchronicities. They can be as small as catching the right bus at the right time, stumbling into the right coffee shop at the right time, and meeting someone you didn't know you needed to meet that had a resource you didn't know you needed to have. It's about the synchronicities, and those synchronicities are based in the urgent impulse of the heart. And if you ignore those impulses or train yourself to be in a constant state of poor health I'm going to ask them to explain that for a second. Okay, you guys, tell me what poor health is before we go farther. It's the inability to access what it is to be in health. The in health, when my guides say that, they mean your ability to flow, your ability to think clearly and rationally, your ability to channel your own spiritual guidance, your ability to feel good in any way, whether it's emotionally, whether it's mentally, or anything else. Okay. Now we'll jump back in. I wanted to touch on it because when they say ill health, they don't always mean physical health. It's frequently emotional as well, if that makes sense. It's about taking the timeline jumps which don't come with explanation, and you may not even know where you're going. So when it comes down to these more immediate impulses, you have to be trained in the maturity of your heart space, the maturity of your emotional health, in order to know what is an impulse from addiction, what is an impulse from ego. Even that, I want them to unpack. Can you guys tell me more about the ego side? Driven from fear. Okay, so we'll label the ego as driven from fear, because the ego can also be positive, but this is their specific. Versus the impulses that come from spirit in the moment that will feel like you're fluttering around like a butterfly. They will feel like you're not quite sure what's going on. If people saw you or perceived you in this more spontaneous state, they would likely assume, because humans, a lot of humans are assholes, they would likely assume that you are either innocent, not necessarily innocent being in a bad way, but innocent, naive, weak, or stupid. And would immediately go into some level of criticism, especially if you are an adult. That is why we don't tap into these aspects traditionally as an ongoing constant process to access our own sacred heart and synchronicities, is because there's actually a pretty alive fear of being criticized, called stupid, seen as weak, because many people mistake kindness for weakness. They see kindness as a fault. Even some kind people see kindness as a fault. And it's like overlooking innocence. They see innocence as naivete, and then they look to take advantage. I wish I could say that there aren't that many people like that in the world, but hot damn. There are a lot of people like that in the world. There are a lot. So what now I'm going to ask them for like the remedy, because my intuition immediately is like, well, the remedy is just like, don't care, just know that that happens and that's why we shut it down. And by knowing that that's the shut off switch, then you know you can turn it on and know that you're going to receive criticism. Oh, that's why you guys said I was going to be attacked in the stream. Like, just like in the stream, I got some BS comments. It's just like, it's like when you show up in an innocent energy, and I really can speak to this with quite a level of experience. When you show up with innocent energy, people assume naive, and then they assume they can take advantage of you. So if you understand that program, you'll understand why 99.9% of the population is guarding their sacred heart, because nobody wants to be taken advantage of, and nobody wants to be seen as stupid or criticized for being an adult, and not thinking more. Like, how dare we have an innocent, sacred, open heart? Like, everybody, not everybody, but I mean, kind of, y'all should want an open, sacred, innocent heart. Who doesn't want that? You gotta guard it. I will speak from experience. You gotta guard it very actively. Okay, where do you guys want to go with those synchronicities? They're not logical. They're bringing me back to the tattoo studio, because that's what happened to me today. Did I show you the other one? I don't know if I showed you the other one. Oh gosh, it's so hard to see because I can't twist my wrist. I got trust on this wrist with an infinity sign. It was my word of the year. And man, I had to really surrender to get these tattoos. It was such a freaking surrender experience and beautiful experience. And it was the synchronicity jump. It was like, I was on my way home and I got this really loud, they're just telling me to take you through the story, because whether it's the tattoos or something else, it doesn't matter. Like, for you, this is how it works. Okay. So I took a pen this morning. I didn't know why. Sometimes I do this. I wrote luck on my finger. I had zero intention of getting a tattoo today. I literally just wrote luck on my finger, and I wrote trust above my other tattoo over here, because those are the two things I wanted to anchor today, and I really wanted to meditate on them today. So I sat with that. Anyway, did some stuff, was a little cranky. In that crankiness, decided I didn't want to be cranky and that I didn't care about what was going on around me. I was on my way home, And because I had left the BS behind and I was in the state of shifting into a state of like, show me the way. There has to be a better way. I don't feel good right now, but I'd like to feel good. I was just in a state of willingness. And then I was like, God, it'd be really cool to get a tattoo. And I was like, huh, I wonder. I was like, ugh, whatever. But then the urge came through so loudly, my body commanded it. Now, for those of you that don't know, divine feminine intuition comes through the body and through the heart. Those of you that are women, listen to your bodies. My body had more energy with even just the mention or thought of getting a tattoo. And I was like, huh, that's interesting. Okay. And then my heart was like, you're gonna get a tattoo today. I was like, I don't know. I was like, you know what? I'll give it up to spirit. And this is what I said. I was like, spirit, if this is something you need me to do today, you're gonna have to give me a really, really loud sign. Like, I'm not like looking for a reason to get a tattoo. Like I need you to make it real clear. If that's what I need to do. And I ended up, anyway, I was like in Hollywood. I ended up in front of a tattoo studio. I don't even know how I know how I got there transportation wise, but I don't I was in an altered state of consciousness. I end up in the outside of the tattoo studio. I look up, I see it. I'm like, oh my gosh, interesting. And I was like, do you guys want me to go in? Is this the sign? I was like, I'm still not buying it. I go in, right? This super chipper girl was like talking to me and I'm like, oh, she's great. Amazing. I asked for the pricing and I was like, today's not the day. Like that's not my budget range. It's not what I want to do for an impulsive decision. And she was like, I'm an apprentice. And I was like, okay, cool. And she was like, so what's your budget? And I told her and she was like, I can do that. I can do that for you. And I was like, what? Spirit, you really wanted me to get a tattoo today. Like, that's a no-brainer. Like, of course I'm getting the tattoos today. Like, it just switched over that quickly. And, she gave me some papers and I drew out the tattoos. I do all my tattoos myself, drawing them. And, I don't know, it just, clicked right in. I literally, even to the point where I was like, listen, I do a lot of energy work. I'm real spiritual. You got some sage? And they were like, we got Palo Santo too. And I was like, really? So I did a full cleanse. I cleansed the tools and stuff with the sage. And then I was like, all right. I called in my spirit guides. I did a full ceremony fairly silently. And I watched my energy shift as she was tattooing these into place. That's my experience. The point is, it's literally like, let me think about how I can explain this. It's just, it's miraculous. It doesn't even make any sense. This literally, my mind was like, we're not doing this today. This doesn't make any sense. Like, it's not logical. My heart was like, just wait for it. Just wait. And it was like, boom, 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 boom. Like, I was like, how, if you guys knew, this is not something I would do. So it's just like, it's just literally like, what? I hope you're getting the energy if the explanation is not, clicking into place, because as I'm perceiving myself, I'm like, I don't know if this will make any sense, but they wanted me to tell the story. The whole process is about the process of trust. Do you trust the impulse and where that impulse comes from? And are you mature enough to be able to understand if that impulse is from fear or if that impulse is from spirit? And if it's from your heart or if it's from spirit. Now, if you guys want a good training method, I felt the impulse in my heart and in my body. And I was like, that's a great impulse, but I don't know if I want to do this today. Or if it's really what I should do today. So then I gave it back up to spirit. I said, spirit, if this is you, if I am hearing you correctly and this is you, then you got to make it real effing clear. Like a no-brainer, loud in my face, alarm bells in the best of ways, to tell me. And that is exactly what happened. So that's a tool that you guys can use as well. If you're wondering, when you get those really strong impulses, give it back up to spirit and be like, if this is what you want me to do, make the sign so loud I can't miss it. And then watch. And if you get a sign, time to move. All right. If you don't get a sign, don't move on it. Now they're giving me the tripwire on this. If you're given a sign and you don't take it, then you guys have heard me say this in previous videos. You choose what you want to engage in. So if you receive a sign and you have an impulse, which is energetic direction. Your body's literally producing energy to move in a direction. There's a projection behind it. There's a manifestation. There's a momentum. And you choose to not do that thing, that momentum has to go somewhere, right? It has to be directed somewhere. So if you don't direct it into the thing that Spirit told you to do, it is now taking a different direction that is likely a shadowed direction. Now, if you do claim the thing and you're like, okay, I don't want to do it right now, but let me schedule the tattoo or whatever the spiritual thing is on the calendar, or get it moving, or put something into action and anchor it into reality, that is you claiming the manifestation, claiming the momentum, and moving it into action. If you don't act and you allow that energy to die, it then moves in the opposite direction. Everything moves in spirals. Healing moves in spirals. Dissension moves in spirals. It's just the difference between the momentum of an upward spiral, upwards momentum, or a dissension, a downward momentum, a downward spiral, right? When you choose to work with the spiritual impulses, the inspirational impulses, you choose an upward spiral. You choose momentum that brings you more success and more energy, and more success and more energy. If you choose to act or not act, right? Like be passive from the place of fear, you choose the dissension spiral. I'm not saying that to like shake you guys out of fear. It's just very like, if you watch the video from earlier this week, for the week, it's very mathematical. Manifestation is very spiritual and spirit is very mathematical. Like it comes down to ones and zeros. Like it's how the fabric of reality is created. It's all based on choice. It's based on what you harness. It's based on what you anchor into reality. Now, something my guides said about my tattoos, which if I'm just being honest, these are intentions of something I'm cultivating energetically and physically within myself. What they explained to me through the tattoos, whatever, this will be a great example for some of you. Some of you might hate me for it. I don't know. But this is the example that is being used because they like to use what I'm going through sometimes to make it more human, more real, right? Is that these are two intentions that are typically very energetic. The trust intention is my word of the year. I've been very, very focused on it all year. And that's an energetic intention. So for me to then anchor it onto my body, it becomes a physical manifestation immediately. So I just manifested my intention into reality. Now, I'm not saying you gotta go out and get tattoos. It's just like literally anything that you can take in your big intentions, in your big manifestations, in your momentum, and move them into physical reality is you proving to spirit that you are invested in the physical manifestation of your energy. Because energy is happy to continue to live up there, to be in a fantasy realm, because it does require our effort and our choice, our conscious intention to say, not just I want this in my physical reality, but I'm actually going to do something to bring it into my physical reality in whatever way that is. They're showing me like my vision board. Another way you could do it is printing a vision board, hanging it up, like getting things in your physical environment, getting, I don't know, like things on a schedule, on a calendar that you've been meaning to do, whether it's like working out or meeting new people, whatever direction you're looking to build in your life. It's about taking the micro actions and micro steps pretty much every day to bring those things into your reality. And then they're showing me the tattoos are really an example of a ceremony of when spirit gives you a big inspirational impulse. Sometimes those things are purchases. Sometimes they're just impulsive things, like just going to do something and just feeling really good about it, like going somewhere, meeting someone. I don't know, it comes with a lot of momentum. That's my like human description. I'm just gonna check in with them and ask them where else they want to take this, but I hope this is making sense and is valuable to you thus far. All right, Spirit, what else do you want to go into? They're just talking. They just give me a sec. You guys, sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm just silent because they have it more of a conversation with me before they bring it to you guys. Sometimes that's just how they do it. Okay, I'm just going to stream of consciousness because I don't know where they're taking this. You guys, specifically for this new moon. The new moon is like wildfire. All right, tell me more about that. It's a lot of energy and it's coming with a lot of voltage. That voltage can be perceived either as a hostile energy or as a kind set of awareness that you can fold into and integrate into your life at this time. They're saying guard your mind. There's a lot of like alternate psychic activity going on in the collective. So be just very conscious of your thoughts. Watch yourself if you're overthinking. If you're overthinking, get into your body. Start doing some movement, whether it's dance, whether it's cardio, whether it's working out, going for walks, going for hikes, getting out into nature. Move your body to get into your body. Write down your thoughts through journaling every morning, stream of conscious journaling. They're showing me there's a way like super overactivity mentally. And that overactivity is, they're showing me a fire, like just literally a wildfire. So the mental activity is being fueled by chaos, okay? At the collective level. So you need to be able to channel out that like more chaotic energy so that you can harness it, claim it, transmute it within your own energy system, and then give it direction, which I want to ask them because I can feel the power of this new moon this week. So you guys, how do we give this, what do you want to do for intentions, or how can we best harness this energy? You're going to be moving through at light speed. When we channeled through Emelina earlier this week that this is a big quantum jumping week, we were not joking. You're each jumping huge quantum timeline portals almost every moment of every day. It is going to get faster and more profound. The difficulty is that if you understand the energy to be more fear-based, more mental, overactive mental activity-based, you will jump yourself into lower timelines and dimensional realities that are not of interest to you. So they're giving you like a heads up warning or caution that as you're jumping, you're going to be jumping timelines no matter what. You're going to be changing your life over the next week or two no matter what. There's a ton of energy at the collective level. They're showing me the energy at the collective level is very chaotic, which, if I'm being honest with you, presents a huge benefit to those of us that are conscious, because when there's a lot of chaotic energy, it means everybody's in competition. And there's very little energy that's actually like stable and balanced, which means it's easy to be stable and balanced. If you can just get out of the chaos, you'll be able to find balance very easily because it's not like there's conflict around the balance. Which means also it'll be very easy to manifest. Okay, so wait, show that to me again. So you were saying there's a lot of fast timeline jumps. You're gonna be timeline jumping no matter what. That's telling me there's a lot of energy racing towards us with a lot of momentum. Other people's thoughts, ideas, opinions, events, make this choice. You have to do this now. Pretty much everyone and their mom that I know, including myself, is wildly busy right now. And they're showing me it's just gonna get busier. Okay, there's just gonna be a lot more energy coming towards you. So if you are not stable in your ability to make positive choices for yourself, you're gonna get swept up into making lower choices for yourself, which will lock you into, won't lock you into, but it kind of does, into a, I don't want to call it just a negative spiral, a downward spiral. It'll lock you into a downward spiral because energy is either moving upwards or downwards, and is carrying momentum with each cycle, right? And it gets more and more dense with each cycle, more and more dense with each cycle. So the faster the spin of the layer of the cycle, as you go lower and lower and lower on the same cycle, repeating similar patterns, by the time you get like towards the bottom, this is really dense. This is like physical manifestation. And the same for if you're manifesting really positively, as you're spinning. I actually don't know which way this funnel looks, but regardless, well, if it's starting with you in the center, as it's spinning and you're evolving with each turn of your ascension cycle, it's going to be able to manifest more easily into your physical reality. It becomes more dense, more physical. The more you understand your patterns of behavior, the faster you learn from them. They're going to become, they're going to manifest. It's just how things manifest. It's like how, you know, we put energy into an idea or into a pattern or a behavior, and it just cycles and cycles and cycles and cycles and cycles with more momentum around each cycle until it becomes so dense that it's in front of our faces so that we can see it, so that it's no longer just like fantasy, like thoughts. Now it's like starting to move into physical reality so that we can handle it. We can look at it, make some changes, adjustments, manifest something new, take care of it, resolve it, do whatever's got to be done. Okay, so you guys tune me back into these jumps. Tons of jumping. It comes down to your security in being able to make your own decisions. So trust the decisions that feel good, the logic that feels good. And by feels good, I mean your heart's got to be on board. It's got to be a good feeling. If it doesn't feel good, it's not good. If it doesn't feel safe, it's not safe. I think I said that in the video earlier this week. So you guys might want to watch the previous video for the week. And then you guys tune me back in. Thanks for being patient with me too. I'm just like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty exhausted. So I'm just like tuning in and out. All right, take me back to the quantum jumping. Okay, so fast decision making. You're gonna feel like there's just a lot of energy coming at you. That energy is gonna have a more chaotic, energetic signature. So as long as you know that mentally in your consciousness, as the chaos comes towards you, you'll realize you can either choose to be harmed by said chaos. That's the hostile energy they were talking about. Or you can choose to wrangle it. You can choose to be made by it. You can choose to have good luck. You can choose that the energy is now yours and that you can use it as you wish. And if you're claiming all this energy, you may as well be in good luck about it. Good vibes, good momentum, good decisions. It may as well build you up rather than tear you down. So that's the attitude to have. Is there anything else you guys want to share about the new moon specifically? They are saying, I mean, if you can do this every day this week, they're like, bust out your journals and start writing down your goals, like in the present tense. Like, I now have this much money. I now am making this much money a month. I'm now making between this much and this much money a month. These are the sorts of relationships I have. This is the sort of home I have. Is there anything else you guys want to bring into my consciousness? Start writing them every day, because it's going to start to program your subconscious mind to automatically make the choices and decisions during this time of like speeding up momentum that are going to be beneficial for you towards what you want, rather than getting swept up in the chaos of the collective mind. Okay, I'm just going to stream through it. Now, if you want to relive your past, don't do anything. Sit back and allow yourself to move through this new moon as you've moved through every other new moon. There is a reason why Emelina is pressing this difference. She has not been caught up to speed and privy to why specifically she felt the need to cover the energies around this new moon. But she will find out later as she does her channeling and streaming. You guys are just receiving the benefit of an impulse that I had, which was to jump on and talk about it. And again, my guides would not tell me the themes ahead of time. They were just like, it is important that you jump on, and it's important that you're very honest. And I was like, okay. All right, you guys, what else? Can you make this like more concrete? Like, what's going on? I mean, I guess it's been pretty concrete, but they're saying there's a race, make haste. Okay, I don't know. This is a little outside of my window of consciousness right now, which tells me a number of things. It tells me that the energy is very complicated, and that I'm coming and trying to give you guys, not trying, I'm giving you guys a heads up on, essentially I'm teaching you how to surf. So I'm like, okay, this is the break. These are the conditions for the week for energetic surfing. This is the swell. This is how high the waves are, what have you. This is the gear you need. I don't know. I don't really surf. Like, I do a little bit, but I'm pretty terrible. I need practice. But you know, it's like going out. So like, I'm telling you through this video, like, okay, these are the conditions. I just don't know exactly what it's going to be like in an hour on the new moon when we actually get into the water, what the actual surf is going to be. And that's what they're telling me. The wave's not here yet. They're not showing it to me because it is a complex energy, and they've specifically asked me to step out of my mental analyzing ability to read today. I asked them before I jumped on stream, which is also another message for you guys. Step out of the analyzation of the mind. The overthinking is not helpful at this time. So what would I take from that? If they're specifically saying not to think and just to move on automatic impulse, that tells me that there's a lot of chaos, and that if you knew the amount of chaos and how that chaos feels, it would throw you into some level of paralysis. And that's why they're not explaining it to me. So to avoid that paralysis, you're going to move into a fluid motion, automatic impulse. Pay attention to what your heart and your body are asking you to do. This goes for men too, but for women, your body is highly, highly, highly intelligent. You know, if you're craving certain foods, besides like typical addictions like sugar and stuff, like it's because those foods have nutrients that your body actually needs. If your body gets like a pang in your gut, like start paying attention to what's going on around you. I can't tell you like even how many times, because I'm just so attuned to my body, like when people will just, they actually won't even say things in conversations. They'll just be there and I'll just feel something and I'm like, what the F is going on with you? Because I'm not thinking anything weird. Like I check myself. And then lo and behold, there's something going on mentally or emotionally that I'm checking into. And I'm like, okay, whatever you're doing, just stop. Or like, do you need help? Like, I don't know, we can walk through it. Pay attention to your body because it's going to give you the impulses that you need to succeed without getting caught up in the mind. Don't worry about analyzing shit. Don't worry about trying to make sense of what's happening in your life right now. I don't know how long this surf will be, or this wave, whether it's a week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, I'm not sure. But at this time period, they're saying very clearly, quit the overthinking. It is an addiction pattern as well. So if you get a little restless and you feel like you need to get high, which is the overthinking, come back into your body. Find a way to do some movement, eat some healthy food, go get a juice, make a smoothie, journal, read a book, listen to an audiobook, prime your mind. You can prime your mind to think positively. I love to do audiobooks for that. Anything else, you guys? I'm going to check in a little bit more. I'm just going to read on this surfing wave situation on the collective. There are huge, it looks like there are huge groups of us on these waves, and we're gonna get through it without like any problem. It's just like, if you don't, they're almost like sharing with me, this is the transmission, it's like almost if you don't know what's going on, you might fight to think more, to try to understand what's going on, And that would be like paddling without a surfboard. Like you're just like swimming and getting pummeled by waves now energetically, because the waves are so collective, chaotic based. So they're saying just surf, just like go with the flow, relax, float, go downstream. Trust the impulse, trust your body, trust your emotions. For the most part, trust your desire to feel good and do what would feel good, or what would lead you to feeling relief, or just feeling a little bit better, or feeling great wherever you're at. All right, guys, is there anything else on that? Enjoy the swell. Enjoy the wave. It's gonna be fun. That's what they're saying, and they're leaving it there. So you guys, thank you so much for joining me in this video. It's gonna be a really cool blast of a new moon. Just like ride the wave, have fun, get out of your head, surf, get physical, enjoy yourself. And yeah, okay, if you like this video, go like it below. I'd love to hear in the comments what resonated with you and anything you got going on energetically wise, whatever resonates, or any other themes that you're seeing come up for this new moon. What else? Like the video, comment. Oh, subscribe. Tap the bell for notifications. Okay. And if you enjoy my vibe, consider working with me. I've got some meditation albums I will link below that people absolutely love, that are very healing, because I'm an energy healer. And I have a couple of one-on-one programs that I am opening up some space for coming up here. The Phoenix and Transformation Accelerator. If you would like life coaching, send me an email. I've got some online programs too, the free Akashic Records training below. That's what I got for now. Okay, you guys, so much love. I hope you have a wonderful night, a wonderful week, and I will see you soon, because I think we need a big June update. I might wait a few days, but I'm gonna have a June energy update soon. Thank you guys, those of you that commented, those of you that comment later, those of you that watch later. Okay, lots of love. I'm just a little chatterbox right now. Alrighty, peace.